Hi there, everyone. Welcome to 3 News Now. This is a very special edition of 3 News Now on this Friday, July 23rd, because we now know that the Cleveland baseball team has announced its new name. The baseball team will become the Cleveland Guardians at the end of the 2021 season, and this also just in, Slider will remain the mascot. So there will definitely be some changes, but there will be some similarities. Let's get into how the information came out today. It was released in a video on social media that the Cleveland baseball team tweeted out, voiced by none other than beloved actor and big-time Cleveland fan Tom Hanks, with music by another Cleveland iconic group, the Black Keys. And the video, about 2 minutes long, broke the news that the new name will be the Cleveland Guardians. In our WKYC fan poll, Guardians was near the top. It wasn't the number one choice. The number one choice was Spiders, which I can tell you this person is very thankful that it's not the Spiders, because I love to support my teams here in Cleveland, and I just couldn't really see myself wearing a jersey with a spider on it. That's a sentiment that a lot of people expressed. Now, number 2 in our poll was Rockers, and Guardians came in third, but that is what the team has settled on. Now, this is the 5th team name change in franchise history, with the first name change happening back in 1915. We'll get into the history of that in just a little bit, but we do also know what the new logos will look like now. They will continue with the traditional colors. There will be a script word mark, and also an evolution of the C. We're not going to be seeing that block C anymore after this 2021 season. And there will be a baseball with a G with wings on it. That'll be one of the primary logos for the team. They'll also be incorporating the 216 Cleveland area code into the design. There will be new fonts for the Cleveland and the Guardians script words, and if you take a look at it online and on WKYC.com, it does look, it looks pretty nice, you guys. Now, this decision comes after taking a look at almost 1,200 name options, 40,000 surveyed fans, and 140 hours of interviews with fans, community leaders, and front office personnel, plus more than 100 hours of brainstorming sessions. Here's just a little excerpt of what Tom Hanks said in that 2-minute video. Right at the end there, he really gets to the point. He says, "You see, there's always been Cleveland. That's the best part of our name. Now it's time to unite as one family, one community, to build the next era for this team in this city, to keep watch and guard what makes this game the greatest, to come together and welcome all who want to join us. We are loyal and proud and resilient. We protect what we've earned and always defend it. Together we stand with all who understand what it means to be born and built from the land, because this is the city we love and the game we believe in. And together we are all Cleveland Guardians." And that was the reveal, really building up to it in that moment. Now, team owner and chairman Paul Dolan said this in a statement today: "We are excited to usher in the next era of the deep history of baseball in Cleveland. Cleveland has and always will be the most important part of our identity." Echoing those words from Tom Hanks, echoing words that he said previously while trying to determine what the new name would be. Paul Dolan went on to say, "Therefore, we want a name that strongly represents the pride, resiliency, and loyalty of Clevelanders. Guardians reflects those attributes that define us while drawing on the iconic guardians of traffic just outside the ballpark on the Hope Memorial Bridge. It brings to life the pride Clevelanders take in our city and the way we fight together for all who choose to be part of the Cleveland baseball family. While the previous name will always be a part of our history, our new name will help unify our fans and city as we are all Cleveland Guardians." Again, really drawing on that message of unity, really trying to bring people into the fold, invite people in, and be as inclusive as possible with this name change. Now, let's get into the look of the name, the look of the logo, and how that's going to be similar and how that's going to be different. Now, for starters, both the previous name and Guardians end in the same 5 letters, D-I-A-N-S. So whether that's intentional or not, that'll make the current script word marks look pretty similar to what we have been used to seeing, even though the fonts will be just a little bit different. Also, the Guardians will be maintaining the franchise's red, white, and navy blue color scheme. Now, that's been used for more than 80 years here in Cleveland baseball, and they will continue to wear the script name on their white home uniforms, and Cleveland will be in navy blue font with red trim on the gray uniforms. Now, as for the baseball caps, the Guardians will still use a C logo, but again, we're not going to be seeing that block C. This will be a diamond C. That's what it's called now. Here's where we get into the real technicality of it. This C is derived from the Guardians' bridge print alphabet. Now, according to a release, the new C stands tall, just as the Guardians of Traffic stand watch over our ballpark and city, and draws from the ascending diamond motifs at the top of each Guardian pylon. The weight of the C is bold, and its tapered shape is inspired by letter forms from the 1920 and 1948 World Series clubs. A lot of history there. You gotta love that backstory. You can tell that so much thought went into this. Of course, when we talk about the thousands of hours that they spent, the hundreds of hours rather, that they spent talking to fans, doing that brainstorming to determine what would be the right new moniker moving forward for the Cleveland baseball team. There is a reaction out there. The Cleveland Indigenous Coalition has reacted to the name change, calling it a momentous occasion. Here is a statement from that organization. Our community has worked tirelessly to be recognized as diverse and vibrant instead of being portrayed in inaccurate and harmful ways. This name change will help create a place where Native American children and their families are valued and fully seen. Now, the group said that they are happy with the team for taking such a comprehensive approach to, quote, listen and learn and show it is possible to take steps toward change. Now, the name change will take place, as we said, at the end of the 2021 season, and the organization will begin its transition to the Guardians. As I mentioned, this is the 5th name change in franchise history. What we had seen, we saw the Blues in 1901 for our Cleveland baseball team. In 1902, they became the Bronchos, so quick there to that name change. And then in 1903 through 1914, they became the Naps. So again, 3 years quickly where they were trying to figure out what their identity would be. Then in 1915, the team became the Indians, and that lasted until 2021, so that'll last through this season. That name will no longer be used, and starting in 2022, the team will be known as the Cleveland Guardians. Now let's get back to what the fans are saying. And some of those fans include some pretty high-profile people, like Today Show personality Al Roker. He tweeted that he approved of the name shortly after the announcement. He says he can't wait to wear the merchandise, and you know he's adopted Cleveland as a second home. Here's what he said. Could not be prouder of my second city. Well done. Can't wait to wear the shirt. Cleveland Mayor Frank Jackson said on Twitter that he's proud of the team's choice and that the Guardians has significant meaning here in Cleveland, as we just discussed. Ohio Lieutenant Governor John Husted tweeted that he approved of it. He shared the team's video and the new name, and he said this: "It's a great video about the heart and soul of what it means to be Cleveland." Now, others took the chance to make sure to explain to people out there who don't know what the Guardians are the significance of that. Like Twitter user Josh Grubbs, he said, to be honest, the Guardians is much more authentically Cleveland than most jokesters on this website understand. The 4 statues, the Guardians of Transportation, are absolute icons in the city and familiar to anyone who has any sort of roots in this area. Facebook user Cindy Fox, though, she had an interesting point. Cindy Fox Toman, she was not a fan of the name change. She said Clevelanders will spend their baseball lifetime explaining it, and no one who isn't from Cleveland will have a clue. But what I say to that is that's a conversation starter. So if you're on the road watching a Cleveland baseball game, maybe you're by yourself, maybe you need to chat somebody up, what a perfect opportunity to explain to them what the Guardians mean to the city of Cleveland. Now, most fans agreed with the name change. A lot of people calling it dope, that it's something the city can get behind. On Facebook, Anthony Jackson Sr. said that the Guardians, though not a great name, he said, wow, they couldn't come up with something better with that. So, of course, not everyone is going to be happy. You can't please everyone, but for the most part, fans are getting on board with it, but of course there are some who say that they will never get on board with it. We did see some people on Facebook saying that they'll never buy anything that says Guardians, and they'll continue to wear their gear from the previous name and the previous logos. Other people saying that they would like to call for a boycott on the new name, but unfortunately you just don't have that option. The team has chosen the name. It is the Cleveland Guardians moving forward. As I said, 5th time with the name change, Most people, though, fine with the new name and fine with the new logos. Now, there will be a press conference happening at 2 p.m. for further discussion on the name change coming from the Cleveland Baseball Organization. Again, that'll be at 2 p.m. We will have that live on WKYC.com, on our Facebook page, and on our WKYC YouTube page. The people speaking there will be owner and team chairman Paul Dolan, president of business operations Brian Barron, manager Terry Francona, and play-by-play announcer Tom Hamilton. And we will have that for you. And that is it for your special address today from 3 News Now on the historic name change for what will soon become the Cleveland Guardians.